Today is day 9 of the NFL mock draft series with BBA Sports. Today is the Kansas City Chiefs, and let's see what we can do to help them as they retool around an injured quarterback Patrick Mahomes as he's coming back from an injury. So let's see what we can do for them in this mock draft. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to day 9 of the NFL mock draft series with BBA Sports. This today is the Kansas City Chiefs, and let's see what we can do to help them today. So let's get into it. Just a reminder, we will be using the system that we've been using for the past several days: Superstar, Dependable Starter, Shaky Starter, Quality Backup, Fringe Backup, and Practice Squad Player. The Kansas City Chiefs picks for this year are 2 firsts, 1 ninth overall, and 1 29th overall, a second, a third, a fourth, 3 fifths, and a sixth. So without further ado, let's get into their first round pick, which is the Kansas City Chiefs in my mock draft selects Caleb Downs, safety from Ohio State. I have this as an A plus, and I have Caleb Downs projected as a superstar. This will solve almost all of the Kansas City Chiefs cornerback problems. Let's take a look at their their defensive back room. They have Connor Charman as a safety and Eloy Gilman as another safety. They have Kristen Fulton as a cornerback, Kader Kohu as a cornerback, and Noel Williams as another cornerback. Put Kader Kohu out in the out as one of the outside receivers. Um, Move Fulton on to the inside to nickelback, and put Caleb Downs as one of the main safeties. Caleb Downs is an extraordinary player. On top of Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, the Ohio State defense had Caleb Downs taking care of anything that got past those two players. Caleb Downs is going to be great. He's very instinctual and a very instinctual player, a very physical player. He can play all around the safety in the linebacker position, pass rush, run defense, on passing downs. He can go out against the different types of receivers and tight ends and running backs. Caleb Downs is an amazing player, and taking him here at ninth overall is going to help solidify that defensive back room into a good weapon for the Kansas City Chiefs. For their next first round pick, I have them taking Caleb Banks, defensive tackle from Florida. I have him projected as a dependable starter and gave this pick an A overall. Life after Chris Jones is going to be hard for the Kansas City Chiefs. And going ahead and getting ahead of that need and drafting Caleb Banks to learn behind Chris Jones and play beside Chris Jones is going to be great for the Kansas City Chiefs. You have Chris Jones, now Caleb Banks, Ashton Giltry, uh, Chris Chirus Tonga, and George Karloftis. Karloftis. This is going to be a great defensive line, and adding Caleb Banks is going to be great, especially moving forward with life after Chris Jones once he retires or goes to a new team. But for their next pick, it comes from the second round, 40th overall, and that is Caden Proctor, offensive tackle from Alabama. Again, another dependable starter with a grade A overall. The Chiefs have three very expensive players between Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and um, tight end. He's right there. Travis Kelsey. There we go. And Travis Kelsey. three very expensive players with other expensive players along on both the offense and defensive lines, and now adding Kenneth Walker, getting Caden Proctor, who's a great, who's good at run blocking, good at pass blocking. It fell a little bit in my opinion and could start later on in the year by beating out either Jalen Moore or and playing with Josh Simmons on the other side. And this is going to be a great pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. Their next pick comes from the third round, and that pick is Max Clare, tight end from Ohio State. I gave my view of Max Clare as a dependable starter with a B plus overall. This is the Travis Kelsey replacement. He is my second graded tight end and also really, really good in pass catching and also decent in and blocking and run blocking and pass blocking. Learn behind Travis Kelsey for a year or two and become one of the and he can become one of the NFL a top NFL tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs to go along with uh, for Patrick Mahomes to throw to, along with a slightly lower, a very unstable receiving core. All the receivers that I was interested in taking for the Chiefs were gone by any of the picks before, and going ahead and taking another tight end that they can play is great for the Patrick Mahomes and whichever quarterback is going to either start by the first of the year or to give Patrick Mahomes someone that he can throw to it while he gets back up caught into the speed of the game. Their next pick for me comes in the fourth round. Anthony Lucas, edge from USC. I have him as also a shaky starter. The Chiefs lost a lot of players in free agency this past year and the years prior, and also trading away several of their um trading away cornerback this past year. Um, it- Having Anthony Lucas is going to be great for the long-term future of the Kansas City Chiefs after coming off a disappointing year with Patrick Mahomes getting injured and missing the playoffs. Getting more young talent on the lines is great and a good necessity for the Kansas City Chiefs, and adding playmakers on either side of the ball is going to be great for the Kansas City Chiefs moving forward. Anthony Lucas has great physical tools, but has lacked production at the college level. So hopefully, some time learning under some people and with um, their their team as a whole. Hopefully, he can learn and make some of those plays in production that he is missing in college. For their next pick, hi kitty kitty, is Devin Marshall, cornerback from NC State. He, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated cornerbacks from in this year's draft. I have him projected as a dependable starter and a grade A for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was one of the most reliable and productive cornerbacks in college football this past season, and them being able to add him for to compete for a starting job this year or to hopefully take over the starting job next year is going to be great replacement for the cornerbacks that they have lost both in free agency and in trading away. Devin Marshall, I feel like is going to be a very impactful, dependable starter for the Kansas City Chiefs moving forward. With their next fifth round pick, I have them selecting Sawyer Robertson, quarterback from Baylor. And hear me out on this. I have him projected as a shaky starter in the future, hopefully at some point, giving this a B overall. And hear me out before you go ahead and start freaking out that I'm trying to replace Patrick Mahomes. I'm not trying to replace Patrick Mahomes. But their backup quarterback behind them is Justin Fields And that's about all the other proven quarterback that they have. And Justin Fields, the proven quarterback, is not a good quarter from the past. Being with the Bears was a good rushing quarterback, but not very good at throwing the ball. And then with the Jets this past year, even though the Jets were terrible, that he was able to do nothing with Garrett Wilson as a star receiver that he has been with the quarterbacks that have been there was not good with the Jets and could not even produce with Garrett Wilson. So giving having competition for that quarterback room, giving Sawyer Robertson in the fifth round, I feel like is very good for the Chiefs and hopefully a good backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs for the next 4 years for Patrick Mahomes. So that is their fifth round pick. Their last fifth round pick is Vincent Anthony Jr., edge from Duke. I have him projected as a quality backup, a C plus overall. He's really good in pass rush, but he's really bad in the run defense. So maybe only putting him out on certain plays. A decent rotational edge defender is going to be great for the Chiefs. Again, getting young talent into the room that has a lot of older guys and having moved on from a lot of other guys is going to be really good for the Chiefs moving forward. And their last pick in the NFL mock draft for BABA Sports is Reggie Virgil, wide receiver from Texas Tech. I have him projected as a quality backup and a C plus. Reggie Virgil at the current moment is, in my opinion, a good red zone and short yardage receiver, but he's not quite ready for anything beyond that. But I feel like does have the tools to become a good quality backup, a number three receiver, or maybe even a number two receiver if he's able to do all of that and could become a shaky starter for the Kansas City Chiefs moving forward. Let's look at the wide receiver room. Yes, this was the only wide receiver I added for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I'm wanting to wait a little bit on the receivers that they do have, who are very unproven outside of Tyquan Thornton with both injury and other problems that they have had. So hopefully adding in some competition into the room will help solidify that those wide receivers. They have Tyquan Thornton, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice. Again, three very talented wide receivers. Excuse me. Excuse me. Three very talented wide receivers that could end up being really good in the NFL. But on the other hand, you have Tyquan Thornton, who is a good, solid wide receiver. But the other two have been either injured or has had legal problems these past several years. So we're not 100% sure if they can take the next step of being potential good to actually good. So adding Reggie Virgil is going to be great for the Chiefs offense, in my opinion, for the long-term future. Let's take a look at their draft results. I gave them an A minus overall. They took Caleb Downs and Caleb Banks for their first round picks, then Caden Proctor, Max Clare, Anthony Lucas, Devin Marshall, Sawyer Robertson, Vincent Anthony Jr., and Reggie Virgil. They got one superstar, four dependable starters, two shaky starter projections, and two quality backup projections. This is a great draft for the Kansas City Chiefs after not rebuilding, retooling after losing some of those vet contracts and losing contracts in free agency and through trade. So this was day 9 of the NFL mock draft series. Come back tomorrow for day 10 for the Cincinnati Bengals. Please can like and subscribe down below, and hope you all are enjoying the series so far. Please keep watching, and thank you for everything. Peace.